The story opens at a construction site, where everything comes to a sudden halt the moment the workers spot something in the ground. Chief Superintendent Susanna Greenfield and Military Sergeant Dutzy Keene receive word that an unexploded bomb has been discovered at the location. They pass the information up to Major Will Tranter, who identifies it as a World War II device with a blast perimeter of 800 meters. He orders the police to begin an evacuation. The police clear every person within the 800-meter radius. Among them is an Afghan family. Major Will arrives at the construction site. This bomb could theoretically detonate at any moment. Will explains that this is the same size bomb as the controlled explosion in Exeter 2 years ago. If it blows before they contain it, everyone will be very glad the cordon was in place. Then comes a complication. A 400 kilovolt mains cable runs directly beneath the construction site. The power across the entire area has to be cut off until the bomb is neutralized. But somewhere inside that zone, a group of people is still hiding. All the water pooled around the bomb is pumped out and cleared away. The hidden men slip out in boiler suits. They move into the downstairs storage units, pull their gear from unit number 79, set up battery-powered lights, and mount a tiny CCTV camera at the main entrance outside. From inside a dustbin, they feed a power cable across to their equipment. Hidden inside that dustbin is a generator. The moment the power kicks in, the men begin cutting and tearing into the wall. On the other side of that wall sits a bank. Back at the construction site, Will lines up a few rum shots. It is his tradition for when the job is done. The thieves spot a police car rolling past nearby, and they freeze their equipment so it makes no sound. Out at the bomb, Major Will moves in to assess the condition of the fuse. The police car drifts back out beyond the cordon. Will discovers the bomb carries not one but 2 fuses, and one of them is a time fuse. He attaches a microphone to it, and it is ticking. They all take hard cover. The bomb can explode at any moment over the next 48 hours. The Major deploys a magnetic clock stopper to inhibit the fuse, then runs for cover. The clock stopper switches on, and the bomb stops ticking. Now the team prepares to build a mitigation wall for a controlled explosion. Down below, the robbers keep their drilling going. They have begun piercing through steel. A corporal named Martin notices a shiny patch on the bomb casing where the rust has flaked away. The bomb is 80 years old, and the entire shell should be covered in rust. Will dismisses the concern, saying the device is obviously well preserved, since its time fuse was still active too. The thieves carve their way through and reach the bank lockers. Inside, they find cash along with gold bars. But the gold is far too heavy for them to carry. Martin shows the strange shine to another soldier, then brings it up directly with Will. At that exact moment, the bomb's ticking starts again. Everyone bolts for cover once more. Will says the clock stopper may have malfunctioned. Now Will plans to drill into the fuse and apply a solution to clog the mechanism. This is their last option, and the drilling has to be done with a manual hand drill. Just then, the police pick up heat signals coming off the robber's generator. Susanna orders the operation to stop. The drilling is halted. Susanna wants to investigate the heat signal first, suspecting there could be people down there. Will argues that he is in the middle of an extremely dangerous procedure. They haven't even finished the mitigation wall. But Susanna refuses to risk injury to the public. Below, one of the thieves deliberately opens a single locker and pulls something out. The other thief tells him to put that on the trolley with the rest of the haul. Back at the bomb, Will notices Martin close to the bomb. He orders him to get to hard cover. But Martin believes the clock stopper malfunctioned and that it is his responsibility. Will reasons with him. It is a bit of kit. It is not worth your life, Corporal. Spotting the cop's car again, the thieves fall silent. They shut off the generator. The police move toward the entrance, but it is locked. The robbers decide it is time to move. The generator's heat signal vanishes. But one officer spots a thief near the dustbin. The thief runs. The police can't chase him down because the gate is locked. They head back to their car for a bolt cutter. The thieves load the lighter jewelry and cash into boxes. And now that the police cordon has been breached, the army can do nothing more. They will simply have to take cover. The instant the police cut through the lock, the ticking stops and the bomb explodes, its impact tearing through everything around it. But all the soldiers were still alive. The thieves seize the moment and start slipping away. An officer chasing after them is injured. 2 thieves run outside. 2 others head up to the roof, where 2 drones are waiting. The remaining 2 slip into a sewer, but Susanna notices them. She thinks they must have been working underground and never heard the warnings. The thieves on the roof load the boxes onto the drones and send them flying. The police see them streaking by overhead. The boxes are received by a woman. After that, those men clear out too. But a few police cars appear in front of them, so they run. The police cars give chase. The thieves duck into an underground parking garage, where they shake the cars off, then drop into the same sewer. A team of commandos follows them down into the sewer. The 2 thieves stay hidden from them. The other 2 have already climbed out and are waiting in a van for them, but the pair isn't answering on the radio. Meanwhile, an officer investigating the scene makes his way inside the storage unit. In the van, the thieves take the 2 boxes from the woman and decide to leave without their missing partners. The moment they pull away, the commandos emerge from the sewer. Martin asks Will to have the chemical signatures of the explosive tested, since he isn't 100% sure this was a World War II bomb. Will has to agree. He tells Susanna to get it checked, since the army's job here is almost finished. Inside the storage unit, the officer uncovers the bank heist. He reports it straight to the control center. The sewer thieves surface somewhere far off. They radio their location to the partners in the van. All of them meet up at a single point. One thief, Carolus, tells the others to move the boxes to the back, because if they get pulled over, he doesn't want the police to see the haul up front. And up ahead sits a police checkpoint, but they carry fake paperwork proving they work for a water company. The police wave them through, since they even reek of the sewer. Just then, Susanna spots the water company logo on the thieves' boiler suits. And when she alerts all the units, the checkpoint officer tells her about the van that just passed. But by then, the thieves have already stopped and scrubbed those logos off their van. They slip away with ease. Everyone celebrates. Susanna arrives at the heist location. She notices Storage Unit 79. She demands the names of the owners of all these flats, and especially of number 79. Outside the cordon, the Afghan family demands to be let through, since they have a flight to catch. But the moment the police learn that their flat is right there, they ask the family to come along with them. They live in flat 79. At the bomb site, a colonel and a CFA general arrive. They ask Will why he never reported that this bomb didn't look like a World War II device. They know Will is reluctant to involve his superiors when it comes to making decisions. Will has a record of insubordination in the past, but he has also lost colleagues under difficult circumstances. Will replies that his priority was to make this 500-kilogram bomb safe first. The thieves' van reaches the countryside. They are told to change their clothes. 2 of the thieves had stashed a little bit of the haul in their pockets. Susanna arrives to question the Afghan family. The old man says his son Rahim gave them the keys. Rahim explains that 2 men showed up with all the papers from the landlord and demanded the keys to the cellar. So they handed the keys over, and the men kept them. Rahim says they are immigrants here. People come with official paperwork, and they do what they are told. Susanna says she understands. She orders the cordon released. Elsewhere, it comes to light that the package Carolus stole was full of uncut premium diamonds. He says they are looking at $30 million. One of the robbers demands an even split, but Carolus steps outside to make a call. They watch him on the phone. Then a group of strangers bursts in and attacks the 3 robbers. One of them tries to run, but is caught in the end. Carolus had betrayed them. These attackers belong to his cousin, Ludo. They have locked up the rest of the thieves. Robber X starts working to free his hands. Ludo asks Carolus for the real value of the diamonds. He doesn't believe the figure Carolus gives him. He asks how Carolus knew there were diamonds in the bank. The diamonds belong to a man Carolus used to work for. Carolus would travel into conflict zones for him, picking up stones under the radar, smuggling them out himself, and depositing them in the bank. But the man tried to have Carolus killed. So now Carolus is taking his revenge. Ludo asks if he can keep some. Carolus says they had a deal and tells him not to get greedy. But Ludo now wants 50% of everything. They get into an argument. In a fit of anger, Ludo smashes a diamond. But diamonds are not supposed to break. Carolus examines the stones, and every single one of them is fake. Ludo calls his men back inside. He says Carolus is betraying him somehow. Carolus insists that isn't true, but Ludo refuses to listen. He brings a wrench down on Careless's hand. Still, Careless's answer stays the same. I don't know. Ludo has him thrown into the back of his car. He is taking him to a workshop. He will deal with the other thieves later. Just then, Zuzana delivers the report on the bomb's chemical signatures to the army colonel. The colonel calls Will and tells him it was not a Second World War bomb. The chemical signatures trace back to them, the army. Meanwhile, the Afghan man Rahim climbs up to his terrace and retrieves a hidden package of diamonds. Robber X gets his hands untied. He frees the others too. They jumpstart the van and use it to smash the door open. But one of the robbers is dead from a gunshot. Robber X had planted a tracker in Careless's clothes. He never trusted him. Locked in the back of the car, Careless texts someone from his phone and sends his live location. Back at the flat, Rahim hides the diamonds inside the handle of his suitcase. His brother knew about all of this. Elsewhere, Zuzana discovers that Flat 79 belonged to Careless's uncle, who threw Careless out of their family firm 9 years ago. At the same time, Corporal Martin checks their clock stopper, which was working perfectly fine. But he finds that their equipment has been tampered with. Rahim takes his family and arrives at the airport. On the other side, Robber X steps out in front of Ludo's car. They surround the vehicle and beat down all of his men. Robber X snatches one of their guns. Careless hears the gunshots. The robbers drag him out of the car. Robber X pulls a plastic bag over his face, and he can't breathe. But just then, Robber X is struck by a gunshot, fired by Major Will, who saves Careless. Zuzana confirms from the CCTV footage that one of the robbers is Careless. She informs the airport authorities. Careless arrives near the airport. He had booked a hotel room nearby under a fake ID. He gets ready to leave and buys a ticket to Morocco. Back here, Corporal Martin tells Zuzana about Major Will that he has some psychological problems. He volunteered to stay behind in Afghanistan. Zuzana shows Martin a photo of Careless. But Martin recognizes Rahim instead. He was Martin's interpreter. The Major brought him and his entire family over here to safety. It means all roads lead back to Afghanistan, since Careless also spent a year there working in a gemstone mine. But by then, Major Will had already slipped away too. Word comes in that Careless has just bought a ticket to Morocco. The commandos move in on him, but they go on ahead to check the passengers boarding for Morocco, and Careless boards a flight to Turkey using a fake passport. Zuzana then learns that the security guard at the construction site the night before was also Rahim's brother. She arrives at Major Will's house, where she finds a book in the basement filled with information about bombs, along with newspaper clippings of Will's colleagues who died in Afghanistan. Major Will has also reached Turkey, where he meets up with Careless. And it is revealed that Will sabotaged the clock stopper, triggering the explosion to buy them time to escape the police. Rahim joins them there. Together they go and sell the diamonds for $1 billion, then split all the money equally between them. The three of them head into the city and go their separate ways. 10 years earlier, Careless was double-crossed by his employer, who had him kidnapped by a group of mercenaries. Nearby were Rahim and Will. Will notices some terrorists, but then his foot comes down on a pressure plate. There are IEDs everywhere, and right then the mercenaries arrive with Careless. One of the IEDs detonates beneath their vehicle. The terrorists open fire on them too. And this is the moment Careless gets his chance to escape. He comes face to face with Will. Will tells him, "You help me, I help you." At Will's urging, Careless moves forward to neutralize the IED. Will hands his gun to Rahim to give them cover. Careless cuts the wires and saves them all. And with that, this story comes to an end. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this explanation, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.